There are two sides really to what you said, which is that during the day, I'm writing, I'm working, I'm doing interviews like this. I'm a coherent, articulate person who can think about the tragedy that's befallen him. But at night, it's anguish. I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm shouting out.
And is that physical pain or emotional pain? What's causing that?
It's a mixture of self-pity and the horror, really. I mean, you have a trauma and you react to that trauma, you know, after it happens and reorganize your life and so on. But later on down the line, as the months passed, the fact that you can't go back to your previous life, a life that you loved, that you enjoyed, becomes more and more harrowing to contemplate, I think.
Just explain, as you do in the book, the ways in which you are utterly sort of broken by what's happened.
I'm broken by what's happened, but on the other hand, you reorganize yourself around a trauma. And when I was in Rome in the ICU, in the first hospital, I asked Isabella, my partner, to start transcribing my ideas and thoughts about what happened to me. And I did that almost immediately. And she was stood at the end of the bed with her phone, tapping wildly into it as I shouted from my bed, trying to write an account of what had happened to me. So despite the fact that I was utterly done for, I still wanted to speak and I still wanted to be a writer. And I began to write these blogs with my son Carlo as well. And they went around the world really quickly.
One of the things that really comes across strongly in the book is just how difficult it is living with a disability. What have you learned about how society treats people with disabilities?
Well, just going around the streets every day, as I do in the afternoon, around this area where we're talking now, you realize how difficult it is. Most of the shops around here I can't get into. They've got impossible steps. So the world isn't really built very much for disabled people. People park all over the streets, there are bicycles all over the streets, so I can't just get up the street.
One of the darkest bits of the book is about a month after your accident, where you write, "I feel depressed, I'm in despair, I don't want to be here, I want to go home, I'd rather die now." And you know, now the bill on assisted dying is going through Parliament. Do you support the bill as it is or not?
Oh yes, absolutely. I absolutely believe that people have the right to end their lives.
I mean, clearly the bill wouldn't apply to someone like you with the kind of condition you have, only to those with terminal illnesses.
Yeah.
Is that the right balance, do you think? The right sort of safeguards are in place?
I think we have to return agency to people. And I think that for many people that life can become so meaningless and so intolerable that we have to respect their freedom and their right to make decisions. Some people are in such despair, you might call it terminal despair, that I would fully support their right to end their lives.
What do you hope to be doing in a year's time, in 2 years' time? I mean, you talk in the book about your hopes, or you wonder in the book whether you will ever walk again.
I don't think about that physically. And the doctors never talk about that. They never make a prognosis. I could stand up. Maybe in the next few months I might start taking 1 step or 2 steps. I can't use my hands. I can't type. But there is stuff that I can do through other people, through using their love for me and their support for me in order to get things done. So I can write books, I can write plays. I want to write a movie with 2 of my sons about my experiences in hospital. So I'm still here, I'm motivated. There are things I want to do, there are people that I love, and there are reasons to carry on living.
Hanif Kureishi, thanks very much.
Thanks, Kathy.